Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In a previous video, we've used some LoRa modules to create IoT communication on long distances. But in this video, I want to focus on using just ESPs alone and creating a wireless communication between them with ESPNOW. ESPNOW is a wireless communication protocol developed by Espressif that works on both ESP32s and ESP8266. So it can enable a direct low power and low latency communication between the devices without needing any additional routers or hardware or prior pairing. And this makes it very suitable for various applications in IoTs, particularly in smart homes, remote control, and sensor networks. It works on the same 2.4 gigahertz band that the ESPs work to communicate with Wi-Fi, that allows you to communicate to any other module if you know the MAC address of the one that you want to communicate. The one downside of using ESPNOW is the small packet size, because we can only send up to 250 bytes at a time, but we can send them relatively fast. So we could definitely create solutions that are viable and that they have really interesting and nice usages within our smart home. So for this demo, I've created an example where I'm going to have one of the modules being stationary here in the office, and with the other one, I'm going to walk around the house to try and see if we can receive the packages sent. And on every received package, I'm going to flash the onboard LED. Now let's jump to the computer to show you the code. But before we actually connect the modules and start playing with them, I want to thank today's sponsor, which is PCBWay. Looking for a fast, reliable 3D printing for your prototypes or custom parts? PCBWay offers more than just top-tier 3D printing. They are your complete solution for advanced manufacturing. Using industrial-grade 3D printers, PCBWay delivers FDM, SLA, SLS, and metal 3D printing options, giving you the ideal mix of strength, detail, and speed. But they don't stop there. They also specialize in CNC machining, sheet metal fabrication, injection molding, and full PCB production and assembly, all in one place. No need to coordinate with multiple vendors. PCBWay brings you consistent quality, great prices, and quick turnaround, whether you're building a one-off prototype or scaling up to full production. Their online quoting tool makes ordering simple, where you just upload your file and get a quote instantly. From aerospace to healthcare, innovators trust PCBWay to turn ideas into reality. Head to PCBWay.com today and discover how smooth manufacturing can be. And here are the two sketches that we're gonna use. So the one is the sender, and this will be the stationary module, the one that will stay in the office. And on the other side, we have the receiver, and this is the module that has the new pixel on board that we're gonna flash each time we receive a message. And to know what device we're gonna send message to, we need to know the MAC address of the device. And here on the receiver, I'm actually printing that on the beginning of the sketch, so we can know and add it to the sketch of the sender. When the sketch begins, we're initiating Wi-Fi, because this is in fact a type of Wi-Fi communication, and if it doesn't initiate, then we're printing some fail messages. And there are a few things that we need to know here. Within the loop section, we're creating some random data that we want to send, and using the ESPNOW send, we are now sending that message to the address that we specified. We have a handler here that we need to register, just so we know that we've sent something, and so we can print the status on the serial monitor. And on the receiver side, we have similar situation where we define the number of pixel, which is 1 on pin 8, and some other variables that we need. I have a function that tries to calculate the distance at which the devices are, but from trying this on, this is not really reliable, and it gets really blocked by some walls where the distance could be wrong by more than double. We'll see that later when we test the device. The important part here is that we are registering a receive callback. So every time we receive data on ESPNOW, on receive data function will be executed. And what that does is just displays that received information, calculates the distance based on the RSSI of the signal received, flashes the RGB LED with green and displays that data in the serial monitor. So there is nothing else here. And here in the loop, we are just generating some data, sending that over via ESPNOW, and then waiting for 2 seconds before we send it again. I did the modules this way so I can know that the sender always sends out data, but if the receiver is able to receive it, then we're gonna be showing that data in the serial monitor and flashing the LED for visual feedback. So I can use that to walk around and visually see where I'm gonna stop receiving the data from the sender. Okay, so here's the demo. We have one of the devices, in particular the receiver device connected to a mobile phone on a terminal app. So we're gonna see the serial output as well as the green LED. And the other device I'm gonna connect now to my computer. And immediately you would start to see that we get the green LED flashing and we get the data. Here I'm gonna have this data on screen that we record on the mobile phone. You could see that we are getting some random values for the temperature and humidity, and we are also getting the RSSI and the estimated distance, which apparently is not correct, but depending on how far you go, that will also increase based on the dBm of the received signal. Again, keep in mind that this is just an estimate and is nowhere near correct one or can be used other than just some indication. I thought it was fun to put it in there. I'm gonna now move the sending station on an arm's length, and you'll see that this now gets increased to about 5 meters. But what got me interested in the whole process was that depending on the orientation of the antenna, that distance changes, and it ranges from between 3 meters to about 7, as you saw here. And if I flip it, so for example, I'm gonna have this vertical like so, you could see the distance here is about 1 meter, but if I lay it in the same orientation as this one, then I think it's gonna get less, and it seems to be all over the place because it's really dependent and reliant on the ambient noise. So you see, flipping it like this got the distance to 0.4 meters and minus 48 dBm, but if I move it on the side, then I'm up to minus 59, minus 56, and getting the distance is about 1 meter. Again, if I flip it like so, then it's minus 67, so it gets worse. And this is one of the drawbacks of ESPNOW that I figure out. Depending on the orientation of your module and the placement of the antenna, you're gonna get mixed results and different results for the actual distance that you can cover. Now for the actual demo, I'm gonna have one of the devices being mobile. The other one will be left here on the bench. And let's see how we're gonna go. You could see that even now we're starting to get some drop in the signal. And if I move away just like several meters, not even that much, you see that depending on the orientation of the module, that the distance calculated and the signal actually drops quite significantly. You see we're up to some calculations of 50 meters and drop to minus 90 dBm just by being 2 meters apart. And if I turn around and I have the antenna orientation better, you could see that that improves significantly, and it's quite sensitive to just the tiniest of changes. So it doesn't really give me great confidence in using the protocol in anything moving other than some stationary sensor, in particular with maybe better antennas. So some modules that have like the external antennas that can be placed on a better position. Moving away to the bedroom, you could see that the signal drastically reduced. So we are again at 93, 94 dBm. But let me try to see with a different orientation if it's gonna get better or worse. Seems to be stable at this distance. But again, let's try and if we rotated this away. Yeah, seems to be fine, but you see we've lost quite a lot of signal, and by estimate, I think that we're about 10 meters, maybe 15 meters away from the modules, and there is just a single wall that is blocking the signal. Now let's go to the down floor and see how it behaves there. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still at the same floor, but now this is the far more like the most distant corner in the house, and I'm already out of signal. There you could not see the green LED anymore, and the last transmission was from the hallway. Let me try to... It's difficult to do this with a single hand, and I'm not sure how much the phone actually disturbs the signal. But no matter how I orient this, I don't seem to be getting... we got one, so you see when I moved it, we got some, but yeah, just few centimeters away, it stops working. And this is still on the same floor within the same house, where there are now about 2 or 3 walls, and yeah, you could see it's still unreliable even at such a low distance. Okay, going down here on the kitchen table, you could see that we occasionally get the information being sent, but this is so finicky that even if I move it slightly away, then you could see that we no longer get the data. So we no longer have the flashing of the LED, but if we move it just a tiny bit closer, then occasionally it starts working, and we're definitely losing some packages. This is, again, not more than 20 meters within the same house, and there is just 1 floor separation, but I don't think that these results are actually worthwhile for actual implementation of sensor, at least not on anything that's more than like 10 to 15 meters without too many obstacles. Now, that was quite some terrible range, but there's something that we can do to improve it. In fact, we can enable something that is called long range ESPNOW. And if we take a look at the code, there's just a single line of code that enables that long range protocol. Everything else remains the same. However, you could see that we are sending data and receiving it successfully. Currently, it says that it's about half a meter. This is not really optimized or calibrated properly. It's just for representation purposes. But one thing to note, if you are using this long range protocol, that would cut the bandwidth that you can send in between the devices on half. In our case, since we're sending data just once every 2 seconds, that doesn't play big role, but keep that in mind if you are using that in a regular scenario. Now let's connect again the receiver and to the phone and see if we get any better reception now. And once again, I'm again in that same corner, the far more distant one, but you could see getting a bit on the closer side receives our signal, but if I push it in the corner, this seems to be the absolute maximum that we can get, which in fact is not much better than what we had before. Again, I'm not sure if the phone plays any role in the reception of signal. Let me try to put it down and just have the ESP up in the air. You could see I have just the ESP, and occasionally I get the data displayed, but if I move it, you see now we don't get it. And if I flip it like so, then we probably gonna get it. Maybe a bit upright. Again, this is all really tricky and only works in specific orientations of the device. The phone is now on the nightstand. No, maybe if I orient it like so. Yeah, we're gonna start receiving, but only at certain angles and at certain orientations. Okay, back at the kitchen table, it seems to be a bit better, but again, if I just move this slightly away or something gets in the way, then we stop receiving. And if I get it just a tiny bit close, then we're getting, it seems a bit better than before with the long range enabled, but still not good enough for reliable and actual communication. Now to verify my setup outside, I'm here in this remote area. I'm actually inside a lake and the other module is placed right there on those rocks, and you could see that we are actually getting communication, but this is so finicky that even if I tilt the module, so you see we no longer get communication. I cannot show you the screen because I'm recording with one of the phones and the other one is powering the module, but you could see slightly altering the orientation messes with the communication, and we are like 20 meters away, just nothing more. With the proper orientation I can probably get a little bit more distance, but it's nowhere near the advertised 200, 300, even 1,000 meters on the ESPNOW protocol. Now, am I doing something wrong? Honestly, I really don't know because this is the first time playing with ESPNOW, but it seems to be only usable for situations where you don't really need too much distance. Although the claimed distance with ESPNOW on outside with some specific antennas is up to 1,000 meters. This is nowhere near what I was able to achieve with the built-in stock antennas on the ESP32 room and the ESP32C6 room variants. You see they only have this PCB antenna. How good it is, I don't know. But if you know and saw me do something really obviously wrong, then be sure to let me know down in the video comments. And with that, I'm gonna end the video right here. All of the code used in the examples will be provided down below in the video description, so be sure to check it out. If you have any ideas how we can use ESPNOW to extend its distance, other than the obvious one of using external antennas and better modules, then please do let me know down in the video comments. Make sure to check out this video, that YouTube things that you're gonna like next, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers!